Jin, we've had this conversation before. First of all, stop photobombing my videos, man. This is happening. Hey, I don't care if you're Ghost of Tsushima. I'm BauerKillz. Don't you threaten me. Look, I love you too, but this is not going to change my take. I am officially moving on from the PlayStation for this generation. Before we get started, if this is your first time here, my name is BauerKillz. I have 32 years of day-to-day gaming XP. I've leveled up over that time, and essentially my goal here is to be an objective source of truth for you, to share some passionate opinions, but also be objective through them and cut through that wave of BS that exists in this day and age where objectivity is as fleeting as a Trapsahedron drop in Final Fantasy 13. If that's the type of content you think that you can get behind, then do me a favor and invite the like button over to your house for a game of GoldenEye 64 and tell them it's going to be a slaps only match, and then when they join the game with their fists only, pull out the golden gun and one-shot them until you win. Also, if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button so you will be notified of all my videos when I upload them or when I go live. Well, let's get into this take and why I am done with Sony. I've had it. Guys, I've been talking about this for a long time. Sony had been showing a lot of cracks in the armor as they kind of regained in this past generation the lead from Xbox. You had Xbox 360 significantly overtake from the PlayStation 2 Sony, because Sony with their PS3, they came out, I think they charged, what was it, $599 for their new console. They had that cell architecture.
Why don't you explain this to me like I'm 5?
They got humbled significantly by Microsoft's gamer-first mentality, and then heading into this last generation, take an incredible lead when it comes to exclusivity and exclusive titles, and that was buoyed by the fact that Microsoft was more focused on trying to make their console an entertainment system with TV. Remember at E3, all they talked about were the TV capabilities for that Xbox.
If John Mellencamp ever wins an Oscar, I am going to be a very rich dude.
And suddenly Sony became the massive, once again, lead in the console space because they had these great exclusives. In the last couple of years, as Sony has gained this massive lead over Xbox, they've returned to anti-consumerism. They have put us last significantly in practically everything they do. We have very recently Sony refusing and actually threatening to block Gearbox's certification of their Borderlands 3 patch, which brings crossplay to every single console except for PlayStation. Yeah, Sony would rather your friend go out and buy another PlayStation for the privilege to play together. This is kind of their calling card now. They want nothing to do with crossplay. They don't want you to be able to play together easily because they are greedy. And they say, you know what, even if it would give you a good time with your friends, and even though, honestly, we really don't need to do it, we're going to go ahead and force your friend to buy a PlayStation console or you're out of luck. Sorry.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
You mix that kind of with some of these other things, especially as we move into this next generation where, let's say you want to upgrade to a PS5 version of a last generation game. Any other console, and in particular on Microsoft's console, that is a straightforward process. They have something called smart delivery on Microsoft where, yeah, you launch the game. This smart delivery system was heralded by people because it made playing your previous versions of these games from the last generation, these upgrades are free, and you can simply launch them to obtain them.
Any more brain busters?
Whereas Microsoft is doing that for free and seamlessly carrying over your saved data. With PlayStation 5, Sony has no incentive financially to do that. In fact, their incentive is to try to get you to buy the game all over again.
Money, please. Money, please. Money, please.
And they've done that here recently with Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut was just recently revealed, and Sony is nickel and diming every single opportunity they can, regardless of whether you own the game already, whether you don't own it and you're buying it for the first time. They're even overcharging for the expansion, which they're not making available as a standalone purchase, which is very clearly a $20 value. They're charging $30 for it for the privilege to play it on the next generation. Oh, you get the haptic feedback and the adaptive triggers. It's still a PlayStation 4 game. Yeah, they've upgraded with a couple of features. Those should be free. This sure isn't Sucker Punch that's doing this. This is Sony. These are the types of things that are pushing people away. You don't believe in cross-generational upgrades now that are free of charge.
Coffee's for closers only.
Or if they are free of charge, you're not giving players the option to carry through their saved data from the past generation.
It's not that I'm lazy. It's that I just don't care.
Not to mention them getting very Apple with how they're intentionally blocking functionalities. Point in case being the streaming capabilities from the PlayStation 5, which, let me be honest, guys, is absolutely pathetic. I've talked about this before in my live streams, but one night I was just like, I don't want to get all the lights out. I don't want to get my capture card going. I don't want to get my microphone out and get on all that. I didn't want to put the whole setup together.
The bums will always lose. Do you hear me, Lebowski?
I was tired. I didn't have the time to do it. And I was like, well, maybe it's a next generation thing. Maybe Sony will allow me to not use their crappy $60 webcam, because that PS5 webcam is absolute garbage, okay? I've got a much better webcam that I'm using in this video here to record and talk to you guys. And the first thing that I experienced with Sony's PS5 streaming was intentionally blocked functionality where it would not let me use a third-party webcam because it wasn't Sony's brand. There's no financial incentive. What have you done for us lately?
I don't see another dime. So where's the motivation?
Whereas with Xbox, you can plug in whatever you want as a USB because they understand, hey, you're playing on an Xbox and you're showcasing your gameplay on an Xbox. That's the most important thing. Long story short, I found a bunch of other features from the PS5 have been completely and totally half-hearted. You can't do half the things on a PlayStation 5 that you could do on a PlayStation 4. Even simple things like, oh, I don't know, make folders on your XMB.
What did you say?
So on PS4, I have a folder that's literally called Crap I Don't Care About, and like my PlayStation Now and all these adverts that Sony doesn't allow you to take off the bar or delete. I just put them in that folder so they were out of sight, out of mind, and not cluttering up what I wanted my interface and my UI to look like. PlayStation 5 doesn't have that capability. They only just recently gave you the ability to plug in an expandable hard drive through USB.
It looks like it was made by a 2-year-old monkey on a farm. He just accepted that I put all this work into it.
Forget the fact that we've probably got the most loyal fan base in the world. We just know we can spit in your face and you'll buy our console anyway because we've got the exclusive titles. Guys, I've touched on this in my previous videos. This has been Sony's playbook now for a while, but it's at this point becoming a complete and total disgrace. And the last straw for me was Doom Eternal. Finally, we get that PS5 upgrade with ray tracing, or you got the performance mode for 120 hertz, which my TV can actually handle. And I can't make use of any of it with my current save data on PS4. That's right. No option whatsoever to move your data over to the PS5 version. And it's simply inexcusable. They did this also with Yakuza Like a Dragon, which despite previously being a PlayStation exclusive series, which has since now migrated to the Series X and the PC, I wasn't willing to buy it on the PlayStation 4 because guess what? I already had the idea that they were not going to put in the time and effort to make your saved data, if you did make progress on your PS4, available on the PS5. Even when these consoles launched, I kind of knew that that was coming. You're going to start from scratch and you're going to like it. No, I'm not. Because at this point, I've done something. I told you guys that this was going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, it is official. I have acquired my Xbox Series X, and this is the first Xbox console that I have ever owned. And like I talked about in my video last year, Microsoft has earned my business. This ecosystem that they're building out, where you're able to play between PC with the same controller, by the way, you can play it on your phone, you can play it on your Xbox, all of your save...
Just need a little bit of water.
all of your saved data transfers seamlessly back and forth. All you have to do to get the free next generation upgrades is simply launch the game. Microsoft has put gamers first and foremost, and most importantly, even though this thing is going to sit in its box probably until the holiday season right now, you've got Bethesda and 23 other significant developers who are going to make an insanely strong dent in PlayStation's exclusivity lead over the course of this generation.
Oh, Doyle, I got a feeling your whole family's going down.
And so every chance and opportunity I get from this point forward, if there's the option to play something on the Series X or the PlayStation, for the first time in 26 years, I am going to intentionally not only own an Xbox console, but play games on it where I could otherwise be enjoying it on my PlayStation. I am going to make a full migration as much as I can, right? Because there's still going to be those exclusive titles like Horizon Forbidden West and God of War, and that's not going to change. But my primary system is going to slowly but surely change to Xbox, and my money is going to go over to Microsoft as well.
Well done.
This nickel and diming anti-consumer put gamers last mentality by Sony, and how brazenly they're doing this in broad daylight. Even though I've been a loyal fan for 26 years, I've had it with them. I've been there during the PlayStation 3 era when they did this before. I weathered the storm, and I mean, I might as well have just lit money on fire.
You see this? This is my paycheck. Look at it. It means nothing to me anymore. I know. I do this because it's how I get off.
I mean, guys, this isn't just a case of Sony cutting some corners. They're openly telling you they don't care about you. They don't care about your experience. They don't care about how much they're overcharging you for things. They have gotten so arrogant that now they're just openly robbing you in broad daylight. And so many of us are just saying,
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
I'm done. So again, guys, and I want to really end on this. If you want to go get a PlayStation 5, I'm not saying don't go get a PlayStation 5.
Hey, look, I'm not saying I don't trust you, and I'm not saying I do, but I don't.
I'm saying for me, it's the right decision. I think for a lot of you out there, depending on how you feel about how you're being treated by bigger companies, it might not be worth your time and money, even if you can find one right now. You might be better off getting an Xbox Series X. An Xbox Series X is a great future-proofing move because of all the incredible exclusive titles that are coming. There's starting to be whispers now that your Elder Scrolls, your Fallouts of the world are going to go exclusive.
Mr. Hillard, do you consider yourself humorous?
And at the very least, they're going to have timed exclusivity. They're going to perform better. They're going to get DLC first. Games like The Outer Worlds 2, Fable, you've got Halo coming back. You've got Avowed, which is kind of Obsidian's answer to Skyrim that's set in the Pillars of the Eternity universe, Starfield, all of these other titles that are going to start to come out as time goes on. And they're going to be incredible titles that are going to significantly take a chunk away from Sony and PlayStation. Now you've got Hideo Kojima as well, who has signed on with Xbox to start making games for them in a dedicated fashion.
I don't care.
This is going to be a different generation. Sony right now can't see it because they have such a console lead. And listen, if you're a gamer out there and you want to play games now, there are 3 primary titles that are available on the PlayStation 5. In order of awesomeness, you have Demon's Souls, followed by Returnal, and then you have Ratchet & Clank. But at the end of the day, if you're looking for the future, I mean, I got to tell you guys, Xbox is where I'm going to be moving to because they're as pro gamer as it gets. You've got that Xbox Game Pass. It's impossible to ignore the value of, not to mention you can buy games that you like if it's leaving the service for 20% off, and you can play it on your PC. You can now play them through the cloud on your phone. It makes like they got like these little cases now. Look it up.
Yes! Yes! Oh, yeah! Can you feel that, buddy?
Where it like turns your phone into essentially a Nintendo Switch, but it's an Xbox console, and you're playing your games through the cloud, and it's all seamless, and you're not getting nickeled and dimed to death. It will be a significantly awesome place to play in a way that will directly rival PlayStation as time goes on. So what do you guys think about all this stuff that Sony's doing? Are you kind of pushing back and looking for opportunities to not spend as much money giving to Sony because of these tactics, or is it not really bother you? Is it something that you're just going to kind of allow them to do at the end of the day, and understanding that hey, like, yeah, they're getting away with getting a little bit more money, but you're totally happy paying it? That's totally viable as well. This is how I feel. I'd love to hear how you feel. Hit me in those comments down below. And if you like this video, again, invite the like button over to your house for a game of GoldenEye 64 and tell them it's going to be slaps only. And then when the game starts, pull out your golden gun and one-shot them into oblivion. That's all, guys. Thanks again for your time. We'll talk to you here real soon. Stay healthy. Stay safe. God bless. And we'll see you in that next video.